And this year he's got new equipment that he's building out there. We know we're in for another banner year of illness.
Well, the statute provides for that though, because the inspector can go in there anytime he wants, or she wants, and inspect.
But can they enforce? I mean, at the time, there was not enforcement. He could not enforce to remove or update his equipment.
Well,
Well, they can.
Ed, that's something that's.
I know.
It doesn't matter, it's not an issue of the regs, it's not an issue of the
Right.
statute, it's an issue of MDAR providing the resources
Right.
to issue an order and to follow up and, I mean, refer to the Attorney General if necessary to make an example of this guy. That's something else that's another message we need to deliver to Kim,
So just-
apart from regs and statute.
I just want to make sure, Ed, that with that story, are you saying you'd be in favor?
Well, I'm just saying, the connection, I mean, there's gotta be a connection between what the state regulatory, the statutes or regulations have, the county organizations as far as their abilities or information to be able to track, because, there's turnover in all these organizations. So, what happens when people leave? Why do they leave? Do you keep track of them? Does the state or does the county organization contact the people and say, do you still have hives? Are you gonna respond? I don't know what the response rate is on those kinds of things. People signing up again for newsletter. I mean, even the notice for this meeting, I mean, it went out to a lot of the organizations, it went out through Facebook. My buddy in Norfolk, he's not gonna pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. So, how are you gonna enforce that? Yeah, and what is your enforcement on? How many strikes do you get before you're told you're not allowed to do something, or you take the equipment away from the guy? Because he's killing everybody's hives.
Well, also, I mean, that mandatory registration wouldn't make any difference in this case. The guy's effectively already registered. There's probably a dozen of those reports or more in those file cabinets. But if they were on a computer, you could instantly get a locus. You could look on a map and say, okay, this is the potential affected area. So,
But I think as an inspector, I know very Worcester County, and some of the other counties, Norfolk, I inform the beekeepers, don't give names, but there's disease in this area. American foul brood showed up, and all the beekeepers are informed whenever I find foul brood in Worcester County, without a doubt. In the case with Holden there, I mentioned earlier, we had to get enforcement, the state police to escort me on. At the one situation all my career where I had a state police escort me on because this guy wouldn't let anybody on and to enforce it. And that's not my style, but that one case you almost have to, because the person is so obstinate, they just totally think they can do. Don't tell the other beekeepers not to send their bees over here. That's the answer. It's no common sense. And,
So let me make sure I get Mayor.
I think my points have been hit by these folks along the way.
Sorry, I don't want to.
No,
I want to make sure we keep hearing that.
Yeah, I know Cliff's talking about, records. The last MDR meeting, you were at it. Half the meeting was about they're not even going to do that with the licensing, and they can't get the groups to work on. So you think you're going to go get an electronic system for bees when they don't have the licensing working yet? And these people were bitching at them for at least 30 minutes. And they said, well, we got a wall like this they have pictures of with nothing but this going in and out of that. And I was sitting there in the meeting going, no wonder the licensing has always been a pain at this place. But we're back to that question again. I mean, I kept all mine. I had a computer system with me with a database, and I had a database of everybody in Bristol County. When I inspected what I had found, I did that on my own. It's not hard, but it should be unified. That's just my point. Good luck on that one.
Yeah, I have a couple of points. One, just to reinforce the idea that I think that the regulation should be as positive as possible. But I also think that you need to have the ability, the inspectors need to have the ability to go onto somebody's property that isn't being cooperative, because the old adage that 1% of the people cause 90% of the problems, and you just have to be able to do that in this kind of a situation. I'd like to also ask the attorney's president itself that when I read the law, what it says here is, what I read here was talking about the inspectors and the inspector shall make a cause to be made through his assistance such inspection of bee colonies and beekeeping equipment throughout the Commonwealth as is necessary to discover and suppress all diseases. Now, to me, that implies you're going to inspect everybody. I mean, how do you, in fact, every hive, right? I mean, so if that's really part of the law, now maybe that needs to be wobbled a little bit, because I don't know how you're going to inspect commercial beekeepers that come in, migratory beekeepers that come in with 2,000 hives. I don't think anybody's going through 2,000 hives. And you almost always find diseases in those hives. They're the worst actors. And they're the ones, that's where the AFB is.
I don't know about that.
I have found very little disease in them because they've been inspecting the way in, and I've done a lot of it.
But the point I have is that well, I have a couple of points there. One, I'm not sure you really need to control migratory beekeepers the same way you do hobbyists. I mean, very frankly, I think somebody's got a couple of thousand hives. You're in a different ball game when it comes to AFBs than you are when you've got 20 hives. That's in my opinion. I think there's a practicality there that in the way that bees are kept and the whole purpose of the thing, it's a very different. It's a different kind of thing. That makes a real complication here. I mean, because it's a different business, and the whole purpose is different in a lot of ways. I mean, the fact with keeping bees is different. I have backyard chickens too. I have 7 chickens. It's a little different than a hen house with 20,000. It's a different kind of thing. So anyway, the law has absolutely makes no differential there, and I think the granularity of that has got to be cleared up.
So Glenn, did you?
Yeah, I mean, we have to undergo inspection, bring bees in and out of state, all of the states basically now anyways. So if anybody would like to come and have inspections, they can come anytime. Just let me know. We'll make an appointment. You can come and look at my bees. If you're an inspector, not just anybody, but, you know.
Well, I was just wondering, I think you cleared it up for me, but so anybody bringing in bees, like so for our club, if we wanted to bring in bees for our club, those bees coming into the state of Massachusetts, do they have to be inspected right now, mandatory?
So
Not here, not here,
Okay.
not here.
It seems like
That's what I wanted to comment
Is that the root
on.
of the issue, because these bees are coming in from out of state with all these diseases?
They're supposed to come with paperwork from the state that they're coming.
Okay,
from.
so there's a pre-inspection.
Yeah, we need to have, our bees are coming from Louisiana.
Okay.
They're inspected in Louisiana and come with, they go through the inspection.
Okay.
We do pay, I'm not sure if we pay a fee down there.
There's an
I know we do
exemption for
certain
kids, queens,
stuff,
and
not
package
for that
bees.
though. But, they go through our bees, a certain percentage of them, with 3 or 4 people. We have 28,000 hives down there. So they go through a certain percentage, I think it's like 5 or 10%, and deem them either healthy or not healthy, and give us the paperwork, and that's the paperwork we bring up here. And we do this every single year, and that's.
What happens when you get to Massachusetts?
I was gonna go into that as soon as somebody points my way.
The regulations don't mandate that we are inspected in Massachusetts now, but to get out of Massachusetts into other states, we need an inspection
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Massachusetts technically.
I mean, the technical part of that is, and one of the big things I did is, he's got 28,000, usually you don't have 28,000 in Massachusetts,
No.
but if you bring in 10,000 bees, apiary inspectors personally have to go through 10% in Massachusetts. And I have never seen with all this said, I've never seen a case of American foul brood. But that's one of the things that's easy to find. They bring a lot of bees in, probably some viruses, some varroa. Varroa isn't even almost now non-existent. It existed within them. I know I'm down in cranberry country, and they come in, they get out, but certainly, I don't know how you've been down in my area too. We got to get this many bees out. I mean, that's a lot of it. You've got to cut the straps.
Oh yeah.
And anybody who want to come down and volunteer with the bees, I'm sure he'd let you go through his hives.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's educated, or they want to look through and see some stuff and check my bees, and they're an inspector, they're welcome to.
Yeah.
I mean, I go along with the lines of I'd like to be notified. I mean, I've been on cranberry growers and had my bees inspected by a state inspector without my knowledge until afterwards. Was I that happy about it? No, but they have the right to do that. If they ask the property owner to enter the property and look at the bees, because they drove by and saw them on the side of the road, they can do that.
So you're a pollinator, you bring your bees, okay, all right. I was talking about like bringing bees in for the average hobbyist, like, you know.
That part of the law is,
Okay.
it gets us,
Okay.
yeah, it gets a certificate when it comes in. The certificate is supposed to come with it. If you get bees from whomever,
Yep.
they've been inspected there by a bee inspector, and you can probably call that person and get the name. And generally, what they've done is they inspected these big operations ahead of time, and they can just sign it out. But your bees have been inspected once they get here.